Hey, Bill O'Reilly here. Welcome to the No Spin News, Thursday, June 12, 2025. Stand up for your country. Let's talk about President Trump in a personal way. As you know, I have been I don't know if it's friends is the right word, but I've known him for 35 years. And we socialized before he got into politics. And since he became president, we have had many, many conversations. Now, he is the most flamboyant president of all time by far. There's nobody even close. Teddy Roosevelt would be second. But Donald Trump is not a politician, all right? He is a businessman slash show business person. And he's going to do what he wants to do. If you read The United States of Trump, my book on him, you'll see that. He is not influenced by public opinion very much. Once in a while, but not very much. So as he travels through his second term, he has become more polarizing than ever, and we're going to tell you why in a moment. But that doesn't seem to bother Mr. Trump. However, the Trump hatred, especially in the media, is getting out of control, and that is the subject of the Talking Points memo. So there are two reasons for the hatred, two primary reasons. Number one, Donald Trump totally rejects liberal policies and woke. There isn't one I can find that he supports. He didn't used to be that way. He was a registered Democrat in New York City. But now there's nothing on the left that he likes. And two is his demeanor. He's in your face. He does not speak precisely. He exaggerates, he brags, and he is putting on a show many times in the public arena. Those of us who know him discount that. I do. I mean, his tweets and all this, I don't take them seriously. All right? What I take seriously is what he tells me and what I can see in the policy realm. I take that very seriously. What he does at 3 a.m. on social media doesn't matter to me at all. But it drives some Americans absolutely crazy, okay? Now, my contention is that Donald Trump became president in 2016 because Americans despised Hillary Clinton. She lost. And at that point, Trump was running as a populist, and the nation just did not want Mrs. Clinton, particularly the heartland. Then, in his first term, Trump did pretty well, if you are a fair-minded person. So wages for working people went up, inflation went down to a very, very low level, and overseas was mostly calm. By those three, and those are the most important, he did well. But COVID wiped him out and created panic and insecurity. And then, in 2020, when Joe Biden ran against Trump, the non-ideological voters, which always decide presidential elections, it's not the Democrats or Republican hardcore people that decide. It's the floaters in the middle. They're feeling uneasy. And so they voted for Biden because he was a calmer presence than Trump. This is my opinion, but I think it's valid, okay? And so Biden takes over. Disaster to a degree that we will see in the next year or so how bad it was, but second worst ever. I don't want to be redundant, but if you read Confronting the Presidents, James Buchanan was the first, and Biden's not going to pass him. But Biden was absolutely, there is nothing that he did that I can see that helped this country. Nothing in 4 years. And I believe he wasn't even in command. But we'll see, right? All right, so when you evaluate Trump's reemergence as president, you have to, if you're fair, again, keep the Biden performance, and Kamala Harris is an extension of that, in mind. That's not what's happening. So powerful journalists, not as powerful as they used to be, I would say 90% of them, maybe 80%, if you count the Fox News crew, they lean toward Trump. They hate Trump. So let's take Scott Pelley. I mean, he used to be the anchor of the CBS Evening News, lead correspondent on 60 Minutes. I mean, obviously, he loathes Donald Trump, and he has used 60 Minutes to batter the president. And that's what he does. We reported specifically on how Pelley does not report accurately or fairly about Donald Trump. He just doesn't. And then we had this week this guy, Terry Moran, a big shot at ABC, big correspondent, national correspondent. He's fired because he tweets that Trump is a hater. Well, okay, but you're a reporter, not an analyst. If I want to say Trump's a hater, I can do that because I'm an analyst. I'd never do it because that's disrespectful to the office. I don't hate Joe Biden at all. I feel sorry for him, but I feel even sorrier for the country that he was president. Okay, I hate him. But anyway, Moran gets fired because ABC is on the ropes. They have to do something, Disney, and they did. Then you have Bernie Goldberg, who's my friend, and who's an honest broker of information. Now, Bernie is an analyst now. Okay, he runs BernardGoldberg.com. We have him on the program from time to time. He has no use for Donald Trump at all. He's offended by Donald Trump. Okay, I'm not mad at Bernie. I respect that opinion. That's Bernie's belief. And Bernie, as I said, is an honest broker. He's entitled to that belief. And then another friend of mine, Bob Costas, brilliant sportscaster, liberal guy, but not a loon. Not a loon, okay? He's crazy about Donald Trump. Roll the tape.
Those corporations have specific financial stakes in running the gauntlet that the Trump administration will throw up against them, not just in the form of Trump's unhinged Truth Social rants and the things he says that are an affront to basic decency, forget about basic American principles.
Okay, so if I debated Bob Costas, and he doesn't want to do that, and I understand, okay, I could beat him pretty soundly. I mean, I don't see myself, Trump being an affront to basic decency. You know, he's a businessman. He's made mistakes in his life. Everybody has. But I would tell you, believe me, I would tell you, if President Trump were doing something untoward or trying to undermine American principles. I'd be the first one to tell you that. I don't see it. And I follow him as closely as anybody does because I speak to him all the time. I don't see it. But Costas believes it with every fiber of his body. And again, he's absolutely entitled to it. Costas is a smart guy. All right, but he's crazed about Donald Trump. So this is not unique. All right, and many people forget about a history. So you, if you're of a certain age, a baby boomer, remember Dan Rather hated Richard Nixon, hated his guts. Roll the tape.
I wonder if you could tell us what goes through your mind when you hear people who love this country and people who believe in you say reluctantly that perhaps you should resign or be impeached.
Well, I'm glad we don't take the vote of this room, we say.
Okay, and it was on and on with Rather. Rather made his name pounding Nixon. Sam Donaldson, ABC. I saw this myself because I was a correspondent at ABC when Donaldson was there. This is 2004. Donaldson despised Ronald Reagan. Go.
I used to say, I thought if you were down on your luck and you got through the Secret Service, got in the Oval Office, and Mr. President, I'm down on my luck, he would literally give you the shirt off his back. And then he'd sit down in his undershirt and he'd sign legislation throwing your kids off school lunch program, maybe your parents off Social Security, and of course the welfare queen off of welfare.
All right, so Reagan didn't do any of that, but Donaldson's very liberal, more liberal than Rather. Donaldson was crazy liberal. And so this has been going on for a while, all right, this kind of liberal don't like conservatives. And you had the vice versa. Barack Obama got pounded, sometimes unfairly, by the right. Still does. Okay? But let's get back to where we are now. There's one truism that overrides everything in the Trump is evil debate. If Kamala Harris were elected president, we would all be in major trouble. She would have carried on every Biden policy. There would have been no border reform. Inflation would be triple what it is now. She would have strangled the fuel industry. And overseas, Putin would not have been confronted at all. Okay, Gaza would have been aflame. China, which made tremendous strides during the Biden administration in espionage by sending people here. Remember the balloon thing? You know, Biden ever explained that? Did you ever get an explanation about that? No. Biden let everything go because he couldn't focus. Kamala Harris had been elected president. I'm telling you, we'd probably be in a severe recession. Now, this is speculation. I understand that. But it's educated speculation. So the next time you hear the Trump hatred, okay, you just say, Kamala Harris would be better. And all of them would say yes. All of them would say yes, Harris would be better. And they'd be wrong. And that's a memo. All right, overseas, you got the same problem. The image of the United States is deteriorating. Pew did some study, 24 countries. Median is favorable toward the USA 49, unfavorable 49. It's usually way up, way more than that. Canada favorable 34, unfavorable 64. Poland favorable 55, unfavorable 37. France favorable 36, unfavorable 59. Germany favorable 33, unfavorable 66. Germans don't like us. Okay. Spain, same thing. 31 favorable, 64 unfavorable. Netherlands really doesn't like us. 29 favorable, 69 unfavorable. Sweden, 19. That's it. 19% of the Swedes like us. 79 don't. South Korea, where I just was, favorable 61, unfavorable 39, because we're saving their butts over there. Japan, favorable 55, unfavorable 44. Australia, way underwater, favorable 29, unfavorable 71. Kenya, favorable 62, unfavorable 34. So Kenya likes us. And Mexico, favorable 29, unfavorable 69. So a lot of this is the press, which is not really free in the EU. BillO'Reilly.com is all over the world. Not in China, because you don't get anything in China. But in Japan and Korea, I got BillO'Reilly.com all day long and all night long. EU blocks me. Why? Because they put up this ruse that I would have to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars for quote-unquote defamation protection for the EU nations if I wanted to have BillO'Reilly.com available. It's a BS, total BS, okay? But they don't want people like me. They don't want a free press in Europe. They don't want it, and they don't have it. They don't have it. Only thing they have is CNN, and it's certainly not an objective news service. CNN is all over the world, okay? BBC, way left. And all of their locals are way left. And that's why the people who don't know any better, okay, think that we're terrible. There is a lot of talk about government debt, but the real crisis is personal debt. You need done with debt. They have unique strategies to help end your debt fast, so you can keep more of your hard-earned money. And they will not try to sell you a loan. They're tough negotiators. Will go one-on-one with your credit card and loan companies to drastically reduce bills, eliminate interest, erase penalties. Clients end up with more money in their pocket on month one. And they don't stop until you're debt-free. Take a few minutes. Visit donewithdebt.com. It's free, but listen, some solutions are time sensitive, so you have to move quickly. Go to donewithdebt.com. Donewithdebt.com. Tell them Bill sent you. YouTube. I don't know why I haven't signed up for it. It's free. I mean, what's the downside? So I'm getting into the people who want an open border and my new YouTube commentary. It's good. YouTube.com/Bill O'Reilly. If you want to hear YouTube, it'll entertain you and inform you. Let's go to the mail. Beverly. For years, it has been known that George Soros funds riots. I don't understand why he, his son, and others have not been arrested for crimes against humanity. There is no crimes against humanity on the books in this country, Beverly. Okay? That's The Hague. Soros has got a battery of lawyers, not going to break any law. Okay? He's exercising his free First Amendment rights. Deborah, wonder why Soros' citizenship hasn't been revoked. Because you can't just revoke somebody's citizenship because you don't like what they do unless they commit a crime. Okay? He is an American citizen, by the way. Forrest, thank you, Bill, for informing us of John Solomon's reportage. See, the other day I mentioned to my wife that I wish once, when riots broke out, some investigative journalist finds out who's behind it. We have. And Solomon was the driver on it. Steve Campanella, Staten Island, New York. Let's concede that these protests are mostly peaceful. That means they are partially violent. How much violence is acceptable to Democrats? Individual question. That's for sure. I can't answer it in a general way. But, there are loons. No doubt about it. Roger, I'm disheartened to see how close the polling is regarding the direction of the country. It appears we have two separate ideological people. Yeah, there's no doubt about that. No doubt. Very intense at this point in history. Melanie Porter, Flora, Illinois. Bill, please correct me if I'm wrong. Individuals who claim they are single with small children get Medicaid, regardless of whether they live with a partner, boyfriend, or girlfriend, and share expenses, correct? Yes, you are correct. The government doesn't go in and see what your domicile is. All right, you petition for Medicaid in the state. You tell them how much your income is. You qualify or you don't. They don't know if Lenny is kicking in money or whatever. So, part of the difficulty. William Conley, Mount Vernon, Virginia. Mr. Earl, you stated you have signed 4,000 books already. How many auto pen? I never do that. You pay for a signed book by me, I'm signing a book. That would be dishonest. I know some people do it. I would never do it, ever. And there's a lot of books. 4,000 is a lot of books. If you want a signed book, order them now because they will sell out. I can't, my fingers are going to fall off. Kristen Flaxick, Hopkinton, Massachusetts. I'm in the middle of reading Confronting the Presidents. Last night I couldn't find my copy. I went into my 9-year-old son's room to say goodnight and found him reading the book. He didn't want to go to sleep. What a bright tyke. 9-year-old reading Confronting the Presidents. Okay, Kristen, good job. Tell them I said right on. All right, why don't you go to the store? You're going to be late if you get the not woke mugs for Dad, but that's all right. You can tell them they're coming. We're going to sell out of those if you want them. We have the not woke gear. And again, I don't think we can get them to you by Sunday, but we are get them to you, and Dad will like them. Same thing with the series, the Killing series and Confronting all together. Tremendous gift for Dad. And Confronting Evil will be out September 9th. I just got the galleys yesterday. Looks good. And finally, instantly, if you want a gift for Dad, concierge and premium membership on BillO'Reilly.com. We get it to you instantly. And you get a free book sent to you. Because, hey, Dad, here's your membership to see O'Reilly. All right, and you're going to get a book. That'll be happy. Now, I just want to say one thing. I was dining this morning, having breakfast with a friend of mine, and he goes, what time do you tape your podcast? Drives me nuts. This is not a podcast. Podcast is when you have people in sweatshirts and sneakers that are just ruminating. This is a disciplined broadcast. They don't understand because it's a new world. I get it. All right, I'm broadcasting like Fox and MSNBC and CNN. It's the same thing, but it's on a different level. But it's not a podcast. I may do a podcast down the road, but this isn't it. Back with the final thought in a moment. Let's face it, the U.S. economy is under stress. National debt rising, trade war shaking the markets. And meanwhile, China is dumping the dollar and stockpiling gold. That's why I protected my savings with physical gold and silver through the only dealer I trust, American Hartford Gold. And you can do this. Get precious metals delivered to your door or placed in a tax-advantaged gold IRA. They'll even help you roll over your existing IRA or 401k, tax and penalty free. With billions in precious metals delivered, thousands of five-star reviews, and an A+ from the Better Business Bureau, you can trust American Hartford Gold as I do. Please call 866-501-5201 or text BILL to 65532. Again, that's 866-501-5201 or text BILL to 65532. You know, debt doesn't just show up one day. The bills pile up while you're stuck juggling payments. The good news is you're not stuck. You need a reset. American Financing helps homeowners use their home's equity to roll that high-interest debt into one simple, affordable payment. They are saving homeowners an average of $800 a month. No judgment, no pressure, just solutions that put you in control. With no upfront fees, it's free to find out exactly how much you can save. And if you start today, you may be able to delay your next 2 mortgage payments. American Financing's consultants are ready to listen and to help. Take back your peace of mind with American Financing. Please call American Financing today, 888-462-9557, 888-462-9557, AmericanFinancing.net/bill. All right, here's the final thought of the day. I did this last year. I want to wish a happy Father's Day to the good fathers, the good dads. And most dads are good, not only in America, but around the world. And I could never, as I said yesterday, associate with a father who neglected, abandoned, or abused his children. That's a disqualifier. All of my friends are, not all of them, but about 80% of them are dads. And they're good dads. No dad is perfect. Dads are annoying. I'm annoying. I know my kids think I'm annoying. But I'm annoying because I'm trying to protect them and help them. Of course, they don't think they need any protection or help, but that's a whole nother matter. It's the effort. And I hope you had a good father, because that's so important. As we did, if you missed our interview yesterday, if you're premium concierge members, you can see anytime you want. It was really good about the disintegration of social order in America. Right, it's the fathers not being in a home. That's it. That's it. That's the bad education. That's all of it. So dads are so vital, so important. I know the movements have emasculated men. I know men aren't treated fairly in the civil court system. It's horrible in many states. I know all that. But you got to soldier on. And the most important thing in your life is to love your children and do the best you can to provide opportunity for them. Happy Father's Day. See you Monday. Thank you for watching. To view full episodes of the No Spin News anytime, sign up to become a BillO'Reilly.com premium or concierge member today.